Hello and welcome to this CATIA prismatic machining instructional video. In this video we're going to look at how do we analyze in a little bit more detail what we've done so far in machining our part. This part is the part that you've been working on, and in the last few videos we've been looking at machining pockets in the second setup. So just to show where you are, I'm going to go into this last operation here, which is the profile operation, and I'm going to just do a material removal full video just so that we can see where we've gotten to. So there's the facing, profiling, two pockets, bottom one with an island. These are closed pockets. And then we've done two open pockets and a profiling operation to clean up the island. So that's sort of where we are in terms of the progress that we've been making. Just to recap a few things before I show you a little bit more how to analyze what's been machined as part of your decision making towards what to do next. Let us go ahead and hit OK. Actually, let's look at for this profiling operation, which is the operation that machined the top of the island. Remember, we haven't done this bottom pocket yet. If we go to the material or the geometry tab, second tab, notice that we have here a offset on contour. We set this to 10,000ths, meaning that we're leaving material, 10,000ths material on the top of the island, so that when we machine this bottom pocket here, we can remove all of that material, both the top and the bottom material. We can finish that with the tool, finishing this bottom pocket here. So that's why we left 10,000ths on this contour. So that's one place where there's left material. So let's hit OK here. Let's go back to the top open pocket. So this is this one here. And if we go again to the geometry tab, you'll notice that we also have left 10,000ths on the hard boundary. So again, we have these dashed lines here, which are the soft boundaries to which the cutter can move. The solid red line here is the hard boundary, and we've left 10,000ths material there. The reason being is that we also at some point in time have to program a profiling operation to clean up, to produce a step on this region here. So we're going to leave 10,000ths material here so we can finish all the way around when we program that operation, that profiling operation. So there's 10,000ths material left here. And then if we go back to the very first pocket that we did, which is on top of this island here, you'll recall that we also left, if we go to the geometry tab again, we left 10,000ths on the bottom. So the bottom we defined was the top of this island, this annular surface. So there's 10,000ths material on that. So there's some left material, and we've left them for good reason. We've left material on the top of this island here so that rather than finishing this pocket and spending a lot of time finishing material that's going to be removed because of the pocket below it, we've left the material here, and we can go back in and very locally do a finishing operation to clean up the top of the island. I should also mention too that we did do the same thing for the top of this island here too, which again is the open pocket here. So again, if we go to the geometry tab, notice that there's offset on the bottom there too, so that there's 10,000ths on the top. Again, the logic being the same as this, that we don't want to be finishing all out here when we're removing that material when we do the pockets below. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at, as I said, I want to show you a little bit how to analyze a little bit more what's left to be machined. So let's go into the last operation, and let's go ahead and generate our tool paths, and let's do a replay, a full video replay. Let's run through. So again, we go through and simulate the removal of material all the way to the last point, the last operation that we have put into the tree. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the second column all the way down to the bottom. There's a tool there called Analyze. So let's click on this. And this is what the tool looks like. This tool allows you to display using a color chart the remaining material as well as gouging. So there are two check boxes here. Right now remaining material is checked. If I check gouging, the gouging tab becomes active too, and I can use colors to show if the cutter has gone into the part where it shouldn't have, as well as I can use colors to show the remaining material. In other words, material that has not been removed. I'm going to deselect gouge, and let's just look at the remaining material for now. There's this button here that does more. So right now there are 3 colors that will be displayed. Green is going to indicate to you where the machining has gotten to the design surface, so that will appear green. And then there is a tolerance, which is really very small, in this case 3/10,000ths, where if you have an error within that tolerance range, it's going to be this lighter blue. And then here's a larger amount of material, remaining material range, which is in this case twice this almost, and that's the darker blue. Now that's only 3 colors, or we may want more. So let's click on the more button, and this shows you a much larger range of colors that you can display. So again, design is green. Within the tolerance, which is set here, it's going to be lighter blue, and then so on. These are the ranges that CATIA has created by default. Now these ranges aren't particularly helpful, the default values, so let's change these a bit so that they give us a little bit more information. So what I'm going to do is set the tolerance here, instead of it being at 3/10,000ths actually, I'm going to set this to be 1/1000th of an inch. So that's kind of the tolerance that we expect to hold, which is, you know, a reasonable tolerance for milling. And then, so that's going to display in the light blue. And then let's switch this here to 5/1000ths. So if there's any material that's left on the surface that's within 5/1000ths, it will display in dark blue. And the next one up, I'm going to go to 10/1000ths, or 0.01. And this one is useful because that's typically the machining allowance for finishing. So this will display in purple. And then the next one up, let's go to 25/1000ths. And then let's go up to 50/1000ths up here. And 100/1000ths, or 0.1. Okay, so this gives us a little bit better color distribution. Let's go ahead and hit the apply button now. And there we see our part now has colors on it. And these colors help to tell us, you know, exactly what's going on in terms of the left material. So again, green is design, so everywhere that's green indicates that the cutting is completed. We've now gotten to the design surface. If we go up, there's nothing in light blue or any of the 2 blue colors. We do see some colors that are this purple color. And if we look at where that purple color is, if you zoom in, by the way, you need to hit apply again to clean things up. You'll see that this is telling me that there's 10/1000ths material left on surfaces that are this color. Now, as we discussed, we left 10/1000ths material on this wall here to finish as part of the profiling operation that we're going to do pretty soon. We also left 10/1000ths material on the top of this island, and 10/1000ths material on the top of this island, as well as 10/1000ths around this island, with the plan being to finish this island when we remove this material here. So again, the color map shows you quite clearly where you have deliberately left material, as well as it shows you what still needs to be machined. So we see quite clearly that we need to machine still this profile that goes around, again hitting apply. So we see that we have quite a bit of material still to remove there. And then of course we have the holes. All the holes are still need to be machined. We have this pocket, the circular pocket here, that needs to be machined too. And then finally we have all this pocketing over here that needs to be also completed. So again, this is a very useful tool to help you visualize what still needs to be machined, particularly if you've left material to help with operations that need to be removed when you do operations that are following. The gouge option 2 is useful. In this case, you would have to hit the check, and then gouging would tell you if you have accidentally gone further into the material and actually gone into the design. Let's just apply this to see. The gouge, yeah, the tolerance is a little bit off here, so let's go ahead and change this. So this is at 1000, so we have to go ahead and bump this up here, so it's at least it's larger than the tolerance. So let's go to, let's say we want to see gouging within 10 thousandths of an inch. Let's apply. So again, normally that color would be superimposed, or a better way to do this would be to uncheck remaining material and just display gouge by itself. And if we look, if there was gouging, we would see brown appear. Notice that there's this color here, which is the tolerance. So this is within 1000, so it's not really gouging in those regions. So again, we can see that the part doesn't show any gouging. That's over the tolerance zone that we've specified. So for example, if you ran the cutter through the part wall as we did earlier, that would show up most noticeably as a dark brown color to indicate that you've gouged. So again, switching back to our remaining material, again, this is a very useful tool for you to help in assisting with your planning, identifying what's left to be machined.